All right. Well, thank you everybody for coming. It's such a beautiful day. I was saying I'm not watching the weather anymore to Brian Davis, wherever he is, but I was watching the weather last night. But thank you for coming. And as I told a few of you, you can thank us for getting out of work early today because it's probably not going to be easy to go back. But thank you for coming. We are here today really to thank and celebrate our community for what we've been able to do over the years, and most recently with this new expansion and completion of our YMCA. It is truly because of the strong support of our community and our volunteers that we are here today. So we thank everybody for that. I have some stats for you, so I'm going to look down a little bit so I make sure I get them all right. That we wanted to talk a little bit about the impact that our YMCA has had since we came here to Hastings. So we've literally helped thousands of people over the 9 years that we've been actually in this facility, and well before that in many of our other facilities. A really fun stat that we've been using in our fundraising is nearly every year we are involved with nearly 9,500 people in this community. That's over 40% of our community is involved in some way with our YMCA. And that's the numbers that we could get and count to the best of our ability. So something that we're very proud of. Many of you are involved with our youth and government program. Very proud of what we do with our youth. We've actually served over 1,500 youth in our youth and government program since we've started. And that actually makes us the largest youth and government delegation in the state of Minnesota, which is quite an accomplishment for our community. We have had over 3,000 active older adults that are members, and as our membership team can tell you, growing every day is just a wonderful piece of our membership to be able to serve, and we're really going to be able to do a lot more with that population too in our expansion. Over 5,000 kids have come through and learned how to swim at our YMCA. We have also had over 5,000 kids go through our Camp Spring Lake location, which is just 5 minutes west of here for those of you who still haven't heard that we opened up our regional day camp here. But we're so proud to be able to have a regional day camp here in this community where people are coming to enjoy the outdoors. And it's really growing in Hastings here, so we're very proud of that. Our facility, every week we have over 5,000 facility scans coming in through our doors, and hundreds more in all of the programming that we offer outside of our four walls. So we're very proud of the amount of engagement that we've had. Over 15,000 volunteer hours. We're going to celebrate our volunteers today, but over 15,000 volunteer hours since we've started this YMCA have been put back towards the YMCA and towards our community. And over 7,000 kids have participated in our sports programming, which is growing as we change the way we look at sports and partner with our community as well. So those are a few of the stats that we wanted to just make sure that everybody saw today, and how excited we are to be able to expand this and offer more. This is definitely a YMCA community. Think about it in this way. We opened 9 years ago, and a few years before that, this community stepped up and raised over $4.7 million to bring this YMCA to this community. Now, through this campaign, which I'll let Todd Seward talk a little bit about, we're not quite done, but almost done. We will raise over $1.4 million again to complete our facility and bring this expansion to our community, all while operating the facility successfully enough to be able to bring us to this point. So it is definitely a YMCA community with the support that we get financially and through our memberships and programs, and we're very proud to serve this community. Another piece of that is our scholarship programs and our annual campaigns. This year, You may have saw there was a little bit in the paper when we finished our campaign, but we've actually given over $1 million in financial assistance to Hastings residents as of this year since we opened our doors. And that is strongly supported by our individuals and our donors and our business community, and where we raise over $90,000 a year annually to support those programs. So we're very excited and definitely a YMCA community. So like I said before, this is definitely a cause to celebrate. We have a great backdrop here. They kind of got a jump start on us, so these guys are working fast, and it's looking really great. But we are so excited for our expansion. Youth will definitely have a place to be welcomed. Our families are going to have a place where they can come all together and enjoy quality time. And our seniors are going to have more expanded choices to be able to exercise and socialize, which is very important to our mission and how we serve Hastings. So that is my little wrap up of what it looks like. We are very excited to have some speakers with us today to talk about the impact of Hastings in our community. So it's my pleasure to kick this off and introduce Stephanie Chaus. She is our Vice President of Operations for the YMCA of the Greater Twin Cities, and has really been lucky enough to be with this project really since day one. So she's seen everything that's been going on here in Hastings, and really has been with the senior leadership of the YMCA, a huge supporter of the Hastings project. So I invite Stephanie to come up and address.
Thank you. It's ironic that we come together to talk about buildings when the heart of this community and the heart of our YMCA work is who we serve and all of those great stats that Derek just shared with everybody. For those of us who remember the location at the mall, then those of us who remember the basement of the hospital, and those of us who were gathered to watch this great building be built, and now to this day, it's been a really incredible journey. And what remains true, regardless of bricks and mortar, is the people who have benefited from our YMCA. I am so proud of the volunteers who have stood steadfast, who have been bold, and even sometimes a kind, difficult difficult voice in our ear to tell us why the Hastings community deserves so much more. So from a leadership standpoint, we are just thrilled to stand with you all, on behalf of you all, to say thanks for making the YMCA a better place for our future. As we move into this next chapter, I'm confident with the volunteers that have come together, the donors who continue to support us, that we'll do great things in the Hastings community. So congratulations to everybody who's been a part of this YMCA.
So let's talk a little bit about those volunteers. Volunteers are the background of our organization. As I mentioned before, we wouldn't be here without the volunteers who brought our YMCA here, and we certainly wouldn't be where we are right now without a strong board, strong community board who really dug in and made this happen. So there are a lot of board members here. If you want to raise your hand and these guys have worked tirelessly on this campaign, and like I said, we're going to get this finished up very soon. And I want to introduce next the leader of our board, Bruce Goblish, and he has actually been able to lead us through this campaign phase and now this groundbreaking and grand opening phase. So I guess he's the lucky one to be able to lead us through. But as I said, this can't happen without strong leadership and a strong drive. So I'll have Bruce come up and.
I feel a little guilty standing here in the shade while everybody else is in the sun. So I'll try and keep it as quick as I can. First of all, I just want to thank the original community board members and the visioneer people that brought this Y to Hastings. It started in probably 2002 to 2005 that they were raising money, and into 2007 they actually started the expansion. So tremendous job by them, and we're very blessed in this community to have this YMCA here. Second, I'd like to thank Derek and his staff for the wonderful job they've done with the existing YMCA. It was a project that they've done a half of a Y to begin with, and they've done everything they could to make it as successful as they've done, and they've impacted a tremendous amount of people. So thank you, Derek, and thank you, the YMCA staff. At this 5th anniversary, after the 5 years into the building, we started to think, well, what can we do to look at the next phase? And all the surveys that we received back were saying that things that we couldn't do anything about, small bathrooms, small exercise rooms, we needed more space. So we started the process of discussing phase 2. So how did we do that? We started with establishing focus groups where we invited over 100 community members to participate in it, and we were looking at community leaders, to youth groups, to seniors, to members, to even some past members, just to see what is the why and what would we want to accomplish with this expansion. And from those focus groups, what we received is that our youth were the most underserved in the YMCA, where we lacked a safe place for them to gather, like a YMCA gym. The YMCA has a strong membership, but programming was lacking, and because of the lack of space. And the YMCA is good for young families and for seniors, but there's a gap in between for the 9 through 16-year-old teens. So out of that, our board looked at this focus, and to meet the needs of the youth, that's what we had 3 focus areas that we wanted to accomplish. So to meet the needs of the youth by providing a safe place for youth to gather, learn, socialize, and engage in physical activity. To meet the needs of the community by providing additional healthy lifestyle space and programming for all, and to meet the needs of the seniors by providing additional space for physical and social programming. So we had a vision for what we wanted this Y to look like in this expansion, and from there we received some pricing of it. So the next piece is feasibility. Can we accomplish that? So what we did at that point was we met with 10 potential donors, and they gave us very favorable responses to our focus that we had, and gave us the encouragement to continue on with the next phase. And finally, after we have this, then we have to decide as a board, do we want to continue and raise this money? So we voted on the capital campaign, which it's taking place right now, and for that I want to bring it over to Derek so he can introduce Todd Seward. So.
All right, board members, don't cringe on me. Fundraising. All right. Like I said, these guys did an unbelievable job. But I need to introduce, as Bruce said, Todd Seward, and have him come up. Fundraising, it takes a lot of dedication and leadership. I was very lucky, and Todd will remember this. I walked in, we went to Caribou, and I was showing him, this is going to happen, this is what we're going to do. And my plan, of course, was to ask him to be our campaign chair. And I thought about it and how I was going to approach it. I didn't even get it out of my mouth. And he said, absolutely, whatever you need. So Todd's, his involvement with the YMCA goes all the way back to his childhood. An extremely passionate board member and member of our YMCA, who has done a wonderful job of leading us through this capital campaign. So I invite Todd up.
All right. When Derek asked me back at Caribou Coffee, I was very excited to be part of this whole journey. However, knowing what transpired through all these year and a half or what it's been been quite the production, or quite the process. So anyways, but still honored to be part of that team. On behalf of myself and our community board members, staff, I want to personally thank all the donors out there. Hopefully most of you are part of that donor team. I really want to thank you for your contributions. because without those contributions, we wouldn't be here today. So thank you so much. I also want to say thanks to the City of Hastings. I really do appreciate their support. It's kind of comforting to know that you have a city leaders that know the benefit that the Y brings to communities. So thank you so much for them too as well. I want to give you a personal story a little bit. Like Derek mentioned, I did grow up in Red Wing, and the YMCA actually was my childhood second home. I learned how to swim there. I took swimming lessons, and I believe it started with guppies, and I proceeded to go to minnows. And I think minnows, I graduated to fish, then flying fish, and then finally shark. So yeah, so I'm a proud shark swimmer. So anyways, and also the YMCA also provided me camp, and I participated in the camp projects there as well. And I learned a lot. I gained many, many friends. I learned how to canoe. I learned how to build campfires, many art projects that my mom probably threw away by now. But anyways, but it was a very bonding experience and very, very deep to my heart. I also participated in some of the Y programs down there, one being youth dance nights. So I always enjoyed the youth dance nights. That's where I did my first slow dance to Stairway to Heaven. So, so I'm probably dating myself, but that's the way it goes. So anyways, so the Y is very near and dear to my heart, and I think it's extremely important for a community to embrace a YMCA because of the programming that it provides, especially for our youth in those early years, the forming years that they'll be thankful for when they grow older. However, I know our campaign is not over yet. We still have a gap. And so I'm here to ask you if you know anybody, or if you haven't pledged yet, to possibly reach out to them or to pledge yourself. We would really appreciate that. So there still is a gap, and we need to finish that. So in conclusion, I know this is an exciting time for the YMCA right now, and I'm very excited for this project. So thanks to everyone who has been a part of this team and this journey. It's been a pleasure myself being part of it, so I thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Todd, and thank you all of our board members once again for all the work that you've done and the donors. As Todd mentioned, we cannot do this alone. Donors in the city of Hastings have been very influential in making this happen. And once again, I want to thank the city as well for being involved as they were again in the first time. So we've invited Dana Ellen Schultz and Tony Alonji, council members of the Hastings City Council, to talk a little bit about the impact of the YMCA in Hastings. So I'll invite them up.
Good morning, everybody. Such a nice day. I'm very, very happy to be here. Mayor Paul Hicks is up in St. Paul trying to clear out the Capitol as the renovation goes on. So he wanted me to greet you all and also to say that I'm the acting mayor for right now. So we'll pass something, okay? We have Tony Nelson here. We have us. We'll figure out what we can do. And thank you, Derek, for going through all the stats, because I was looking through everything last night, so I don't have to talk a lot about the stats. I have a couple of stories. Back in the mid-90s, when we were trying to get our own aquatic center done and we were talking about community centers, there was a young woman by the name of Lisa Baytine Carlson who made a call to one of the head honchos with the Y and said, what do we need to do to get a Y in our community? And it was looking like a long shot at that point. But we all kind of kept working on the idea of a community center. And I remember when I first ran for office, I was out campaigning and a couple of young kids stopped me and they were old enough to vote. And they said, hey, we'll support you if you promise me you're going to work on some kind of a youth center or something to give kids something to do in our community. And I said, I promise you I will do that. And so that's been my commitment over the last 16 years, and I'm very happy to say that I'm very glad we've got the current Y, and I'm glad we're going to be able to do the renovation for a couple of reasons. I take swim class a couple times a week, and that locker room is too small. And a lot of the women are like, it's too small in here. I'm like, yes, okay, we're going to get something bigger for everybody. My second story is my daughter Abby is a Y employee. About 5 years ago when she was in high school, she was looking for a job. And I said, why don't you go to the Y? I think they've got, I said, it'll work out with your schoolwork and your activities and show choir and all the other stuff you're doing. So why don't you apply? And she got the job with kids stuff. And that's been a great opportunity for her. And now she works, last summer she worked the day camp. And it was the most fabulous thing that she's ever done. She got to be outside. She got to work with Amy. She got to work with actually a lot of her friends and some really fabulous kids and families. And it's very, very exciting for her. And this kind of makes me tear up a little bit, but the Y was instrumental in her career choice. She realized that she was fabulous working with little kids. That's what she wants to do, and she is now going to be a senior at Augsburg's, majoring in special education. So I'm very happy and excited. And I'm also proud that the city's been able to be a partner with the Y. Collaboration is one of the great things that we do well, and the city, the Y, we want to work together to make sure that our young kids have a place to go, our seniors, and that middle range and families. And I think this has just been a fabulous opportunity for us. So thank you so much for all your hard work. I'm so glad that the city's been able to be a partner. And Todd, yep, Stairway to Heaven. I know how old you are now. Thank you, everybody, and I can't wait to see how great this all turns out. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Tony, I'm sorry. You gave me a microphone,
Please,
I'm
no,
done.
Your Honor, please. Continue.
I looked up a Chinese proverb that I've actually used when I do some of my work, my day job, when senators are looking for a quote. And it's a Chinese proverb that says, if you are planning for a year, sow rice. If you are planning for a decade, plant trees. If you are planning for a lifetime, educate people. And I think that that's what the Y does in their collaboration and their work with kids, youth, families, seniors. And I just keep that in mind as you're all moving forward. Thank you. I don't want to. I got Derek's stuff wrapped in there.
Sorry. Her Honor stole the Chinese proverb I was going to use, so I don't have much else left in the tank. I also notice we have some young people with us, and there's nothing young people love more than to watch politicians talk. So I'm going to see if I can just tease this out a little bit more. All I really want to say is thank you, but I want to say it to a few different people and a few different groups. First, I want to thank my colleagues on the council and His Honor Paul Hicks for the support of the Y. I think it's a great statement of our city leadership in terms of what we believe in and what we invest in, and hopefully we've done right by the community and by the city in investing in this asset, and you all agree with that. I also want to recognize Melanie Mescoli, City Administrator, Brian Schaefer, the Chief. I'm looking frantically through the crowd to see if there's other city staff here, but there's multiple city partners and city staff who contribute every day to the success of community assets like the Y and our community. Thank you for all that you do. It's wonderful to have you here as well during this gathering. And of course, I want to thank the Y. The Y was there when we needed a community asset. We were looking for a way to bring families and community together. The Y was there. When the city had, unfortunately, during tough budget times, had to scale back some of our direct investments in some of the youth programming that we had, the Y was there, stepped forward, took some of of it. When our community went through tragedy not too many years ago with some unfortunate young people who passed on, and we were looking for ways to pull together, and we had the Helping Kids Succeed initiative that was led by multiple community partners. The Y was there. The Y has been there. The Y's been right here. Now it's going to be over here too. It's going to be great. It's going to be fabulous. And I thank you for the vision that you inspire, for the collection of people that you're bringing together once more today and moving forward, and for all you're going to do in the future. I'm just proud to be part of it and really couldn't feel more blessed to be part of the Hastings community. So thank you all. Appreciate it.